Okay. Don't say a word. Just keep walking, real casual, okay? Let's do this. I'll show it to you, but you can't tell anybody else where it is, okay? Deal. They keep it way in the back with the really rare stuff. Hey, what's up? How goes it? Good to see you. The kids who work here don't know where it came from, of course, but neither do the old-timers. None of them bought it, so there's no tracking number. As far as they know, it's just always been here. Okay, this is where they usually keep it. Uh-oh. No, did somebody buy it? Oh, man! I would have bought it myself, but I just felt like it was too big, too valuable, like the kind of thing no one man should possess. Yes! Here it is. Okay. You sure you're ready for this? Because what I hold in my hand is not just gonna blow your mind, it's gonna blow your soul. Go ahead. Open it. If you dare.
Mullet Man has discovered the ability to block Scuzz to broadcast his own brand of filth, so be prepared for what your tiny minds cannot possibly comprehend! The Mullet Man Show!
Alright, you've seen the thumbnail, you've seen the intro, but we have to start from the beginning, so please just bear with me, or you can skip ahead using the chapters. But for those who are here for the video but do not remember this legend from the Book of Heavy Metal, sit down, you little shit. Grandpa's about to tell you a great story. Back on the 17th of April 2003, a rock and heavy metal music channel launched in the UK on Sky 471, as I'm sure you will know by the name of Scuzz. The channel helped to launch many UK bands such as You Me at 6, Enter Shikari, Young Guns, and Bullet For My Valentine. Also, some international bands that broadcast for the first time in the UK were on Scuzz TV, including Avenged, Sevenfold, Sleeping with Sirens, Pierce the Veil, Let Live, All Time Low, and Paramore. They also sponsored and aired various programs at festivals, but let's not go too far into Scuzz. That's a topic for a different future video. However, if you want to find out what happened to a different UK music channel, check out my other video on P-Rock TV. On the build up to Scuzz's launch, they realised they wanted a mascot, a face for the channel, a person to carry the flag of Scuzz, shall we say. And a man stepped forward. A man ready to carry that burden. A man who lived.
I got the winning smile? Oh yeah!
Breathed.
Come on!
And fucked to heavy metal.
Wanna suck on something, Max? Suck on this!
We knew him simply as the Mullet Man, first appearing in adverts for the channel. With its brash and in-your-face style, and I'm just going to say, those who were not there, it was a different time, and in the noughties or early 2000s, humour was very different, and you certainly would not get away with this style of advertising today. I unashamedly still find it funny, but what we grew up with shapes our humour. However, let's have a look at here's what I remember to be the first advert. So this was our first sighting and the start of a legend.
Just pulled a double shift at the bowling alley. Going out with my buddies, sink a few brewskis, get wrecked. What? You don't get it, because you're not down with it, man. You boners just don't know how to. Rah! Got tickets to see Smith on Saturday. Smith! Mother hubba! Oh yeah, baby!
You'll never take us alive.
The adverts were very popular, and soon after the Mullet Man show started, featuring the adventures of Mullet Man and Lucky Larry, featuring other characters such as Harry the Homophiliac, Max Wheels the Goth Vampire, Minnie Mullet, and ex-Page 3 model Joe Guest. The show would feature skits of Mullet Man mostly in his underwear performing slapstick, gross out, cringe and gory comedy against his co-stars, especially if he had a conspiracy theory against them, such as Max being a vampire, or if anyone broke the house rules of touching his prized Saxon records.
You have just dealt yourself the hand of death, you stupid bloody gastropod! Not wrong. Relax, dude. Relax! That's my bloody Saxon album! You have disrespected it! And the gods of vengeance shall wreak havoc upon thee!
This would then result in the Room of Death.
What's in there? Your destiny, Harry. Your destiny.
The other would involve messing around with rock stars. Yes, you knew it was coming. As he would open up with You Are My Third Favourite Band.
Alice Cooper! Oh, man! You're my third favourite band of all time! Iron Maiden, man! Hello. You're my third favourite band!
Yes, imagine the absolute audacity of breaking the unspoken rules of metal by being a terrifying, overly excited 6-foot-tall Yorkshireman metalhead coming up to you, only to say, you are great, you are a great musician, but not my favourite. How do I know 6-foot-tall Yorkshiremen are terrifying? Because my dad was one. I think what endured Mullet Man to us was that overexcitement. We all know that one metalhead who is over the top and lives and breathes metal and generally gets himself into trouble with the addition of alcohol or simply just being random or random circumstance. So here it comes, the Bruce Dickinson scene.
Listen, you are a god. You're not one of those silly Greek gods. You're like one of those Indian gods, you know, without arms and all that sort of stuff. No, listen, I love you. I saw you here in Donington in 1991. Do you remember me? I was the guy that jumped up on stage and asked you to sign my breast. The security got me to give me a right kicking. No, serious. Here, look. I've got a metal plate in my head and I lost a testicle.
You got your teeth?
It was worth it, mate. It was worth it just to meet you. You are the best. I love you. You should have got your hair cut. You should never have got your hair cut. You're not evil. I'm evil. I sold my soul to rock and roll. Here, Brucey, sign me breast. Sign me breast.
At least Bruce took it in his stride. Can you imagine if Mullet Man had met someone like Lars Ulrich? I would pay good money for this. I feel rock stars are used to excited fans, but not folk being this confident at the same time. And certainly not giving out personal medical information to Bruce or being critical of their haircut. Speaking of which, that criticism about Bruce's haircut has been a joke among Iron Maiden fans since the 90s. And to simply say it out loud to the man is just peak comical meta, and certainly takes balls. Apparently, Scuzz also hosted some metal award shows in 2003, hosted by Mullet Man, Lucky Larry and Joe Guest. I unfortunately did not see this, and any content online has been lost over the years. A quote from some forums in 2006 states, the award for Best Band of 2003 or something was being awarded, and Mullet Man said, I hope Saxon are in it, to which Joe Guest says, I don't think they're even in it. To which Mullet Man's face looked like he was going to kill her. It was very funny. End quote. There is also a Mullet Man film called The Scuzzies, which I did unfortunately miss also, and I do apologise, as I'm usually better about this on research, but there is nothing left online about this apart from a small description saying, quote, two metalheads sneak into a studio and hijack the set and Joe Guest to pay homage to their favourite and not so favourite bands. If anyone has seen this film or knows anywhere to get it online, please let me know. There was also the Incomplete History of Donington festival program narrated by Mullet Man. So, with the history out of the way, here's what you have been waiting for, and I will go more into the actor Paul Hawkyard after the Q&A. You will certainly recognise his other roles if you are from the UK. So here we go!
I'm gonna be a bright and shining star. Bigger than Phil Collins!
How did you get into the role? Did you apply or were you approached? Paul. I remember it well. As a jobbing actor, I was called in to do a casting for a new channel that was about to be launched called Scuzz. I had just bought some false teeth, I'd just shaved and had a porno tash. Just for this particular casting, I had fun with the character and Mullet Man was born. I asked, how did you come up with the character and how much creativity did you have with the whole writing and acting process? Paul says, as above, I bought these crazy false teeth, so that for me was a big part as it changed my persona. I squeezed into the skin tight jeans and pushed my belly out and the character started to come from there. I guess we fit a lot of stuff in around what I was capable of. For example, I was doing a lot of kickboxing and martial arts, so the pool cue stuff developed. As for the writing, there was a script, but I used to be given it at such short notice, so I improvised what I'd read most of the time. It was all pretty loose. I ask, who are your influences in comedy? Paul replies, I love Jim Jeffries at the moment, and Kevin Bridges is awesome. But growing up I enjoyed Eddie Murphy. And Lee Evans. I was a huge Laurel and Hardy fan. I reply, I would say your style kind of reminded me of Rick Mayall. Paul replies, Rick Mayall is a god. I worked with him years ago when I was a wee boy on New Statesman. He kept between takes, so full of energy and a buzz with his antics. Superb. Rest his soul. I ask, are you into metal, and if so, which bands? And if not, what music do you enjoy? Paul replies, I like all sorts of music and it changes for me. I paint as in artwork, so when I'm painting I will listen to and actually love classical music, but I'm quite eclectic in my tastes music-wise, from Simon and Garfunkel to Aerosmith. I reply, we also thought at school you were some guy that got off the street, and you nailed it so well, plus your knowledge of metal was on point. We wouldn't have believed you were a professional actor. Paul, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I have to give Chris, the director, full credit for the metal knowledge. He was a proper genius on that front. Next question. I have to ask, did Bruce Dickinson of Iron Maiden knew you were waiting for him, as it seems like you improvised the skit? Paul replies, no, he didn't have a clue. I was supposed to be interviewing him that day, but for some reason he cancelled his interviews. He came walking through the VIP section, and the director, Chris, said, he's here, go get him, and so I did. I reply, yeah, that totally explains Bruce's attitude. He is a big idol of mine, but you just know when he doesn't like something. Paul replies to that. He was a good sport, I suppose, on that day, or I'd have gotten another kicking, haha. Next question. Were there any particular parts that you enjoyed most about being the mascot of Scuzz? Paul says, I absolutely loved playing Mullet Man, and even called my dog Scuzz, but interviewing Alice Cooper was a highlight for me. What a bloke, and a thoroughly nice chap. My last question. What are your latest and upcoming roles in the future? Paul replies, oh well, I have been filming for All Creatures Great and Small, which will be out soon, and possibly some plays in Harrogate through September, followed by a project over Christmas in York that hasn't been announced yet, so keep your eyes peeled. So, you've heard the interview. Now, who is the man behind the mullet?
Here, Alice! I think you better call the cleaning lady. I've made a bit of a mess.
Yeah, I was noticing that. Oh.
Paul Hawkyard is from Leeds in God's chosen country of Yorkshire. then moving down to the south to pursue an acting career in his late teens, and went on to have a long career in the West End in productions such as Les Miserables, Miss Saigon, Mamma Mia, War Horse, and Dear World, and also starred in many soaps such as The Bill, Casualty, Holby City, EastEnders, Emmerdale, Coronation Street, Heartbeat, Holby City, Casualty, and every soap. He has been in every British soap. I've looked through this man's IMDb. I can't find a single one he hasn't been in. Okay? Somewhat recently, most would know him from Old Jack's Boat as Ernie Starboard, with his actual dog Scuzz co-starring. And he continues to be on TV and acting in plays to this day. He has also a long passion for painting, wildlife, as you can see here. Look at this. It's not a photo. Look at that. Look at it. Some people apparently seem to have all the talent. Makes you bloody sick, doesn't it? He also has an interest in falconry and has kept several birds of prey. He has also lived in a narrowboat for some time and has a long-standing interest in boxing and martial arts. I would like to give a massive thank you to Paul Hawkyard for taking the time to answer my questions, especially as I contacted him stupidly at 5 AM in the morning after a night of not being able to sleep. And I was going over a Scuzz video in my head, and then it clicked. I knew who the actor was, so why not ask? And in my sleep-deprived state, I had no common courtesy. I didn't take note at the time, and my notification probably woke him up. I checked the message about 30 minutes later to see if he had read it, and I was like, ah, shite. Well, I've blown that one. But no, he replied and agreed about an hour later. So thank you once again, Paul. And that was my tribute to the actor and legendary Mullet Man. And thank you for the laughs. You have entertained us as youths, and now you entertain us further with our own children. Cheers to you, Paul, and I'll see you next time.